Life must be fucking sweet as a Golden Wind fan or a Stardust Crusaders fan, or really, no, just those two parts. Cause if you're not, you gotta scrounge and scrap for merchandise unless you're a fucking Rohan fan, which Rohan has fans, but they aren't as many as part 4 fans, no matter how much Araki tries to tell us, oh yeah, Rohan's the most popular side character I got. No, he's not. He may be now simply because of all the short stories and side stories he gets, but for a long time, Rohan was not the most popular side character. He's barely it now. I don't even want to call him that right now. I'm just giving it to him. But the point of this video is just the fact that certain JoJo parts get so much merch while others are so neglected. It's like looking in the wild wild west trying to get some fucking merch. Besides the manga, which all parts 1 through 6 all the way to now 7 have all volumes, which is great. That's fantastic. I don't got all the volumes yet, but like I'm getting closer. Other than that, you're either finding overpriced merch for most of the parts or figures, because the good thing is every JoJo part has figures. It just may not be figures of characters you want. In all honesty, I may have talked about this before, how much I dislike the disproportionate amount of merch that all the other parts get besides Golden Wind and part 3, just because they're the top 2 most popular parts and they're the most popular animated parts. Like, for example, how often do you think do you see a strictly part 6 Stone Ocean drop post Stone Ocean being airing? I've seen at least 5 to 6 Golden Wind drops in the past year and a half of merch just for Golden Wind. Hell, Golden Wind just got a whole horde of fucking short stories, you know, and I can't really complain too much, but I still can, because you got parts like part 1 and part 2, almost no side stories. You got part 7, part 8, again, no side stories, but part 4, 5, part 3, those 3 parts have a lot of side stories. Now granted, let me not be like that. I'm sure there are some fan-made spin-offs for the other parts, but I'm just saying, you know, it's clear what parts Araki is trying to take care of. If you're a fan of like one of the parts in the 3 to 5 range, you're good, you know, even part 4, because you can nitpick and be like, oh, but this character doesn't get that much merch for part 4, but then you gotta look at the whole part and realize part 4 gets a lot of merch, like a lot of merch. I've seen a really good amount of part 4 merch. Now granted, was half of it Rohan Kashibe merch? Yeah, around half was Rohan Kashibe merch, but that's to be expected when Rohan Kashibe is the manga artist's self-insert, and the manga artist just cannot stop drawing Rohan Kashibe, whether that be in the original universe, alternate universe, side stories, spin-offs, like fuck. But at least part 4 is not like most of the other parts. You look at, again, I'm gonna keep going to fucking part 6, because again, you look at most of the cast in part 6, they have no merch. Why does Anasui not have that much merch? Why does Anasui barely have merch? Why does Emporio, of all people, barely have merch? You know what I mean? Why does Hermes not have that much merch? All you're finding for real is Jolene, Weather Report, Poochie, and part 6 Jotaro merch. And part 6 Jotaro is if you're lucky. I couldn't imagine being like a diehard part 1 fan and just knowing that there's no merch out there for me, you know, besides maybe a poster. And you know what poster I'm talking about too. Like everyone knows what poster I'm talking about when I'm talking about the Phantom Blood poster. Like, in all honesty, it just worries me for when we get to part 8, because let me only see Josuke and Wonder of You merch with the slightest little bit of Jobin merch. Oh yeah, I'm getting really angry. I'm getting really angry. Part 8 was so good, I'm pretty sure by the time it gets animated, I need a plant appraiser figure front and center right here. But you know, part of what probably surged me to make this is like when I kept seeing the fucking Golden Wind merch that started coming out, like not the Golden Wind merch, the Golden Wind cologne that started coming out, you know. And then I started seeing some characters from part 2 get cologne. I'm pretty sure Lisa got perfume and Joseph got cologne or something like that. I kept saying that. I was like, you know what, something's gotta change. Like genuinely imagine you're just finished the whole series. You read the entire series front to back. You know, you're all the way caught up on part 9. You start reading some side stories. You know, you're real life a diehard JoJo fan, and one of your favorite characters is a character from part 2. And your favorite character ends up being one of the guards Lisa has in part 2. Look me in my eyes and tell me you think there's merch for that nigga, besides maybe a figure. If you need an answer to that, it's probably no. Because if I look them up, I promise you all I'm probably going to see is maybe one of the mini figures, and that's it. No further merch, no further explanation, no nothing. And for a series as big as JoJo's, I would just expect a little bit more merch for a little bit broader parts other than part 5 and part 3. Cause I promise you look up JoJo merch, the first thing that's going to pop up is just a bunch of part 3 and part 5 merch. You might see a bunch of JoJo's hats, something like that. But really, that's all I got for y'all. If y'all enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. You know, we're on the road to 5K. We just hit 3K. That's a big milestone. So until next time, peace.